Hi friends, I am Dr. Pratap Singh Rathod. I have done MD in forensic medicine, and today we'll discuss about unlawful homicide. In that, we'll discuss about culpable homicide and murder. Culpable homicide is defined under Section 299 of Indian Penal Code. According to 299 IPC, culpable homicide is defined as causing of a death by doing an act with the intention of causing death. So first point tells that whenever the person tries to kill or cause death, the person has to have intention that he should have knowingly should do. He should have some intention. Second point tells that with the intention of causing such bodily injury has it likely to cause death. So it tells that person who has the intention to cause death as well as he knows that certain injuries will likely to cause death and with knowledge that such act is likely to cause death. So person has intention, he knows injuries and also knows the knowledge that such injury will likely to cause death, and when he does that it is considered a culpable homicide. Some explanations: a person who causes bodily injury to another person who is suffering some disorders, diseases, or bodily infirmity which accelerates the death of a person shall also be deemed to have caused death. So here the person is already weak because of some disorder, disease or bodily infirmity. Then also if the person knowingly does some injury or some does some act which he thinks that which accelerate that disorder and because of that the person dies. For example, if the person is susceptible to myocardial infarction and if he rages that person and person may die, that comes at a culpable homicide. Where death is caused by bodily injury, the person who caused such bodily injury shall be deemed to have caused death, although by skillful treatment the death may have been prevented. So here the person may not be have died, or the injuries may be injuries. Such injuries may be there that which may cause death, but that can be treated. Even though that can be treated by skillful treatment, even then that if the person if even the person survives, that also is considered as causing death only. So the person has the intention to cause death and he did that injuries which caused death, but those injuries may have been possibility may be there, but possibility maybe have been there, but of being treated. So if it was the person who may have taken correct time, and if he may have been treated and he may be survived, so even then that considered as culpable homicide. Like examples like immersing the head of a child under water column proves that the person has intention to cause death. Firing a revolver aimed at the head of another person proves that he had an intention and he had done the has the act. He done the act, also causing multiple injuries resulting of rib fractures, compound fractures of the femur, which may lead to like fat embolisms, rupture of one kidney because such shows that intention, and also that he knows that those injuries will likely to cause death. So the person had knowledge and the intention of doing that act which had led to death. One more example, like in some quarrel in a dim light, the subject A threw a knife on subject B. So here, the knife he only threw the knife. He had the intention that that knife may stab the person B and might kill. So it pierced the chest and caused the death of a B. Here, the person had an intention, and he knew that stabbing of the knife will cause death, and he had done the act. There was no attempt to cause any more injuries. He just done one act and he knew that that act will cause death. So here the A had knowledge that he is likely to cause death by his act. So this comes under homicide. Now coming to murder. So murder is defined under 300 IPC in the 300 of Indian Penal Code. So here the culpable homicide becomes a murder. So we should understand that if you consider a vast majority of a body, culpable homicide includes many things, but only a small portion of part of culpable homicide includes the murder. So here, same few points are similar to culpable homicide. Here, the person had causes death is done with the intention of causing death, like stabbing a heart with a dagger. So he has an intention. He does the intention. He also has the intention of causing such bodily injury as the offender knows to likely to cause death. So here he has the intention. He knows that injury will likely to cause death. Here the assailant knows that about the state of the ill health of a victim and that the injury caused is likely to cause death in such a state of health. even though such injury would not ordinarily have caused death of a healthy person. So here the person knows that certain injuries may not be fatal in normal person, but certainly that injury in the some person who is ill will accelerate that injury, accelerate and may cause death. For example, a subject A hits over the area of a spleen on the abdomen of a B. So here the person in a normal person, if someone hits on the abdomen, the person will not die. But similarly, but in this example, the person B who had an enlarged spleen, it will likely to get ruptured and person may die because of hemorrhagic shock. So the person knew that he had enlarged spleen, and even knowing that it may get ruptured, he had hit that, then it becomes a murder. Or if it is done with the intention of causing the bodily injury, which is sufficient in ordinary course of nature to cause death. Here, as a result of intentional act causing injury, the probability of death is very high. Like the probability of death is lesser, than it is becomes likely to cause death. So if any injury is high probability, as highly probable that it will cause death, that causes murder. If it is probability is less, it becomes a likely to cause death, that it becomes a culpable homicide. So again, there are a few exceptions we'll discuss in the next slide. Like example, if there is a stab injury in the vital organs like heart or major blood vessels, it is sufficient to cause death in ordinary course. So any injury on the stab, it is immediate fatal and it is ordinary course of nature. It will person will die. The intention to cause injury, which is sufficient in ordinary course of nature to cause death, is absolutely necessary for making the offense of a murder. So, to make a offense of a murder, the person should have an intention and should have a that any injury in the ordinary course of nature, that the injury will cause death. Next, fourth point in murder is if a person committing the act knows that it is so immediately dangerous that it must in all probability cause death, or such bodily injury is likely to cause death, and commits such act without any excuse. Here, the person knows whatever he is doing is immediately dangerous, in all probability will die, and even then he does the act is considered as murder. Here the accused is presumed to have known that his act is imminently dangerous, like inflicting severe injuries to the neck with the axe or a chopper, or firing of a gun in a crowd, or chopping, decapitating a person. He knows that that is immediately dangerous and it will cause death. Then even then he does that, considered murder. So what should be considered as culpable homicide, what should be considered as murder? So as I mentioned, culpable homicide is just a very broad term, in that a murder is only a small portion of that. So culpable homicide, it doesn't amount to become a murder in few acts. So what are those? These acts includes whenever the person does death by grave and sudden provocation, like husband, whenever he finds the wife cheating, he may kill the lover of the wife, and in that case it becomes a culpable homicide, not a murder, because the person didn't have any intention beforehand of to kill a person, but in sudden provocation he has killed that person, causing death in good faith of the right of a private defense of a personal property. Here the person may try to defend himself and may try to in that process he may kill, like subject A has attacked B with a knife, and during that quarrel, the B stabbed A and A died. Here, B had, he knows that B knew that he may because of that weapon may cause death, but he does that because to defend himself. So again, it comes under culpable homicide, not amounting to murder. Then public servant exceeds the powers given by the law to cause and causes death. So here, when trying to withhold the justice, if any public servant causes death, that comes under, again comes under as a culpable homicide, doesn't amount to murder. Like police constable accompanying the convicted person kills him by firing revolver when he convicts tries to escape. Then death caused without any premeditation, sudden fight in the heat of passion, like roommates, friends gets involved in sudden fight or some matter, trivial matter gets killed. Here, there was sufficient time for passion to subside and reason to interpose. So here, two persons quarrels and one person kills another person, but it should be noted that it should be sudden and there should be some time that it may be there may be time for passion to subside, and the person may have taken to hospital also. So that should be also considering culpable homicide and doesn't amount to murder. Person aged about in years of age suffers death or takes the risk of death with his own consent. Here, the person with his own knowledge, he may try to kill himself or may tell another person to kill him. Like in case of euthanasia, where the person is already suffering because of some terminal illness, like cancer patient, request doctor to give some drugs which may try to kill himself. It's also called as mercy killing or euthanasia. It is active euthanasia. That is also comes under as culpable homicide, doesn't turn out amounting to murder. Now coming to punishment associated with the homicide, it starts with 301 IPC. 299 IPC deals with definition of culpable homicide. 300 IPC deals with definition of murder. So 301 IPC start with punishments of homicides. 301 IPC is culpable homicide causing death of a person other than the person who has intended. So here the person tries to injure one person, but he didn't have, and by accident, one more person was injured. 302 IPC is punishment for murder, here death or imprisonment for life. This is the 302 is the ultimate punishment given for punishment for any committed murder. So this includes has a death by hanging or imprisonment for life. 303 IPC is who are being under sentence of imprisonment of life. The person who is already under the life imprisonment commits murder, then it is punishable by death. So here the person is already in jail and he commits a murder during the process of life imprisonment. Then it is and then he is judged under 303 IPC and he is hanged or dead, hanged by death. 304 IPC deals with punishment for culpable homicide, not amounting to murder. So the 5 points like sudden provocation or private defense, rash negligence, like all comes under 304 IPC. That is imprisonment for life or up to 10 years of fine. 304A, subsection A and 304A is includes causing death by negligence. So all the death comes under any death because of medical negligence all comes under 304A IPC. Here there is imprisonment of term which makes into 2 years of fine or both. There are 5 IPCs abetment, that is helping of a person to commit suicide of a child or an insane. If it is a child or insane, it is 10 years. There are 6 is abetment of suicide of any adult. That is 10 years. Now 7 is attempt to murder. So whenever the attempt to is done, that is punishment for 10 years. Now 8 is attempt to commit culpable homicide, imprisonment of 10 years. Now 9 IPC is attempt to commit suicide, which may be imprisonment up to 1 year of fine or both. These are my references. Thank you.